South Bend Civic Theatre. Two's a crowd, but one's company, and that's exactly what's happening at the South Bend Civic Theatre. Company opens its doors May 2nd, and David and Sean are here to tell us all about it. Good morning, gentlemen. I'm so glad you're here.
Good morning.
So I've not heard of the company. It's called Company.
Correct.
So tell me a little bit about the performance.
So it is a Stephen Sondheim musical. He's most familiar with West Side Story and Into the Woods. Company is the story of Robert, a 35-year-old who's kind of living in New York as a single man and wanting to get into a relationship, and all of his friends are married or coupled up, and they're like egging him on, like, hey, you know, you need to get married. Why aren't you married yet? And just kind of going through those montages of what it's like to be single in New York and finding a relationship. So,
what's the music like for this particular performance?
Oh, it's tough.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a very tough music. So we have a really great cast that is very strong singers. Got to handpick them. We had a great turnout for auditions, and yeah, it's one of the toughest musicals I've ever had to direct. So.
Wow. Is the music kind of upbeat, or is it?
It is a musical comedy,
okay.
But it does have some dramatic moments in it as well. So a lot of familiar songs like Being Alive, The Ladies Who Lunch. What's some other good ones?
You Could Drive a Person Crazy,
you
Marry Me a Little. There's plenty if you know the Sondheim canon.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. All right, so tell me about your character.
Yes, like David said, he's this 35-year-old bachelor but has a terrible fear of commitment. So you meet all of his friends who are married at the beginning, but then you have these kind of one-on-one or one-on-two scenes throughout the show where it's almost like Bobby observing all of these marriages. And you range from one just getting married, one that's been married for a while, one that's on her third husband. So he kind of takes the good and the bad of each and uses those as an excuse to why he's not quite there yet. And you also see him go on a series of dates throughout the show as well. So it's really just, you see Bobby's evolution as a character and whether or not he's ever going to make that commitment.
And so what's your favorite scene in the play?
I love the opening. You hear all these iterations of the name Robert, Bobby, and it's almost like the voices in his head telling him what to do, but it's all his friends around him, and it's when everyone's introduced. And like David said, it's a difficult number, but when you get it right, it's one of the best Sondheim numbers in my opinion.
I love that. And so you're in the Warner, is it Warner Theater or would it be Warner Studio?
Warner Studio.
Okay, so tell me what it's like to actually direct a performance in that studio.
So it's my first time directing at the South Bend Civic Theatre. The Warner Studio is a black box theater, so we have seats on all three sides. So it is very interactive with the audience. Our cast comes like right up to like within a foot of people sitting in the front row of each side. So it's very interactive and a lot of fun.
What does a performance schedule, or not a performance schedule, but like a practice schedule, rehearsal schedule look like now? And it opens next weekend. So like, do things get really intense right now?
Yeah, we start our tech rehearsals this week. So we're going to start adding in the lights and the sound and costumes and all of that. And our band joins us this week as well. So that's the exciting part for me. I know it's like a lot more added elements, but that's when you really feel it coming together. And yeah, next Friday is when we open. So.
What's your favorite part of performing?
Especially in community theater, it's giving back to the community. It's the fact that, you know, you don't have to travel all the way to Chicago or New York for these kinds of things. You have the talent right here in your backyard. So getting to pay that forward to the community has always been my favorite.
How have you seen your actors develop from like their first rehearsal to now when you're getting ready for like to add the tech and the lights and everything to, like, it's so close now?
Yeah, it's really a great experience. Something that we worked early on was character development, and you know, seeing how each character kind of plays that role in Robert's life. Like, how do they interact? How would they have known each other? And seeing, you know, that develop has been really interesting. Like, I've really pushed the actors to say, okay, this is real people. How would you play this person? And they've really taken it by storm.
What do you hope the audience takes away from this performance?
I think the important thing about Company, when you think about it, it's not just this one man's journey. It's about the company or the people that are in your lives. And even if you are a single person, knowing that these people impact you in many different ways, and having that, knowing that you're not an alone person, like you have that ability to make that connection with someone. So I'm hoping the audience realizes that in this day and age when, you know, it may be a lot harder to be a single person. So.
I love that. And what for you is the best part about being in such a small theater where you can get that audience interaction?
I love the intimacy of it all. It's like I said earlier, Bobby kind of observes all of these couples in their natural habitat, and the audience kind of gets to take that journey with Bobby, because a lot of these scenes start almost in the middle of a conversation within their apartment. So it's like you feel like you're in the apartment with them, observing along with Bobby, and I just love that intimacy.
I love it. Well, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for being here with me today. I'm excited. This sounds like it's a lot of fun. So I'm excited for you guys. Good luck.
Thank you
So much.
If you would like to learn more about the South Bend Civic Theater or get tickets to see any of their upcoming shows, just head over to sbct.org and don't forget to follow them on social media.